Messing around with these cameras, batteries going flat.
Alle sprang I lag og ville komme under tak. Ingen av oss merket at du hadde fart ifra. Hvorfor valgte du å dra? Hvem I faen kunne se den komme? Da høsten tok over, sa vi hadde bra til la oss sommer.
Hi, Rob again here from Kickback Garage. Now listen, I really need to get this engine stripped because my man Steve, the poor bastard who owns this, he's off to the UK and we've already ordered some parts for it, and we really need to find out what size clutch and sprockets he needs. So he's not got a lot of time to sort that out. So if you didn't see this engine strip of this, then I suggest you go back to the last video that I made and have a look at that. This is a true house of horrors, and this is the most scary bit because this is what could cost him a lot of money. What I'm going to do is I'll take off the brake pads, and when I'm done that, I'll turn the camera back on again and we'll strip the gearbox and see what's in life for us there. It's all a bit scary, to tell you the truth. But anyway, grab yourself a coffee and we'll get straight to it. Right, to remove the gearbox, we simply have to unscrew these nuts here. Right, to remove the end plate here, you can either use T-bars in these two holes here. They're 6mm thread, or you can use what I'm going to use now, is just two long 6mm screws that threaded all the way. Problem being, the only thing I've got lying around is stainless. So stainless threads can be a bit of a bitch, so it's always smart to just oil those, just so you don't shear the threads. And then we fit them in the end plate like this. Oh, the threads are quite good, which is promising. I'm not getting my hopes too high. And then we can fit this one here. No, we can't. What? Here, of course. It's not easy doing it from the side. I'm trying to give you prime vision. So, oh, and this is lift. Okay. Actually, I can. That's pretty unusual that I can loosen it by hand. Normally, after maybe I'm missing. We'll see. Let's get this off and we'll see. Now I have to loosen this gear cluster, so I'll just give it a tap with Old Trusty here. There we go. And we'll wind on some more. Now this is the beauty of the, totally unrelated by the way, but this is the beauty of the Casa Performance end plate, is the fact that it's got two extra screws here, so you can, you've got a better chance of getting it off even. But this is coming off okay, which is actually a little bit worrying because normally they can be a bit of a pain. Let's have a look. Another little tap on the old. There we go. So, all exciting stuff. And that's loose. So I can take out these two screws here. Oh, I'm a bit worried about this actually. So that's the end plate off. Bearing's a bit rough, but I normally change the bearings in these. It's not too bad. Put that away. And we've got the gear shim. And yeah, and it's supposed to have the shim there underneath this needle bearing, and it did, which is pretty amazing. And can I try and get the gear shim off? It's all sticky, you know what I mean? There we go. We'll shim the gearbox up when we put it back together again. Dirty bench. So that's the first gear, and it looks in good nick. I have no idea what it is. So that's sort of where stickies comes in. Oh, come on. I think I'm going to have to ease her up with a screwdriver there. They look okay, actually. So what I have to do when I've taken it out is actually... Oh shit, what's happening? So the gears themselves, they look okay. And the gear cluster with the shim on the back, which is standard, yep, so that's correct. So put that one away. I can't see any markings on this. It doesn't say Innocenti or anything. Normally there's Innocenti marks. So either it's a really early gearbox. There's actually no markings at all on this. So it's either a really early one or an Indian one. But the Indian ones, they normally have the old Innocenti. Maybe it's Spanish. I don't know, we'll soon find out. And take out this bearing here so I don't lose it. No sign of any metal in there, but that needs replacing for sure. And that is definitely an original Innocenti. Tap that through. See if we can get at this thing. Right, so this is an original Innocenti Layshaft, and actually the splines look really nice on that. So one thing I don't like is he was complaining that gears were stiff. Now that could have been due to the gearbox problems we found yesterday, but this sliding dog here looks like it's on its last days. The good news for Steve there is I've actually got a Lambretta Layshaft that he can buy off me for a cheap bit of money. But that bearing doesn't look too clever. Oh, it doesn't go around. Oh, that is so funny. Can you see the bearing in there? Let's see if I can give it a turn. It's that is jam solid. So that is toast, Uncle Steve. That's but I mean the bearings, we was going to change all the bearings anyway, so I'll take that out afterwards. The little ears here for the gear selector, they look quite okay actually, to tell you the truth. That one's a bit loose, but these they're not an expensive item, so these we can change quite easily. But otherwise it seems pretty tight in there. But I'll remove that bearing, and I'll remove this selector arm as well. And there's a bush in here we can change, and we can change the seal, so we'll do that. But that bearing there is toast. They're a bit loose, these pins here. I think you can get oversized ones of these. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll do a bit of research on the on-net, but I think you can get those slightly oversized. So this has been loose at some point, but there's not too much crap in here. I'm actually surprised, pleasantly surprised. And another thing which is surprising with the case is the fact that all the all the studs are intact, so I know that the threads aren't damaged. So I'm going to change out those to MB stainless types, just because that's the way I do it. That doesn't look too bad. Let me look at that. I'm actually, tell you the truth, I'm actually missing one of those. So that's probably why it came out so easy. I'm missing one of these. I'm not sure what you call them. These pegs. So that's probably why the end plate came out that easy, and it's quite loose there. So I'm gonna have to fix that, but it's not the end of the world. That's not too bad. So I'm looking through Sticky's book here, and gear cluster is 12, 14, 18, 21. First gear 49, second 40, third 37, and fourth 33. So that, according to Sticky's, that means that it's either TV 175, Series 203, it could be SX 200, it could be a Jet 200, or Lynx 200. Now the way to find out this is also got a width mode. So if I go second gear, that one, and measure over it, let's have a look, just zero that out there. 9.6. So this is actually a Jet 200 gearbox, and according to Sticky's, he says it's a good gearbox for a tuning motor with the correct sprockets. Now it's just a case of me trying to figure out what the correct sprockets are, and it's got a bit of a calculation thing going on here for exhaust and stuff. So I'll let me have a little read, and I'll come back to you. So this is, we've got the old Stickies out here, and this book is totally invaluable. Now I found out that the cylinder kit on this is SR 190 with a reed valve, and in my head I think that's somewhere between sort of a Mugello and a Imola, in between there. And Imola with a Revy pipe needs 5.3, and 4.8. I'm thinking, I might be wrong, but my intuition is saying that we could probably get away with 5.2 gearing. Now the problem here is, I'm not sure why, but it simply says in the book here, to get 5.2 with an SX200 gearbox, just says none available. So either we have to go to 5.3, and it's a Scooter S pipe, which is a knockoff version of PM tuning pipe. They're quite revy, quite top end. So what I'm thinking is we either have to set it up so it's got 5.3, and that means we need a 14 front cog and a 47 clutch on an 80 pitch. We can actually get away with using an 81 pitch there and using a pull down chain. But it also says like 49.15. I think it'd probably be more reasonable to go for the 5.3. It probably needs some revs to get some power, that top end there. And Steve isn't the lightest guy in the world. He's quite tall. So please tell me if I'm wrong. I think we have to go for something like 5.3 ratio with this box that we've got. Otherwise, I do have a GP200 box. And what's it say about that? Then it means, aha, I've got an Indian GP200 box. Maybe we should use that instead and go for a standard 1847 with an 82 pitch, which decisions. I'm around about there somewhere. So yeah, give me a bit of feedback, tell me what you think. Which one of these I need to go for, because I have to get old Steve on the blower and we have to order the right sprockets. But I do have a GP200, as I said, and we could go for 17, but that's just like so unusual. Decisions. Before you go, I'll show you how to take the sliding dog, this one, out of the Layshaft. Now be careful here, don't manhandle it, because in there you've got a selector spring and 2 balls, and the thing is with this one is it's really stiff, so I suspect that the guy who built this has put one of those stronger selector springs on here, and that is I've never really had good success with those, so I'm going to fit an original type selector spring in there. So what you need to do to take this apart basically is a plastic bag. So I'll turn you off and I'll go find one. Ta-da! Plastic bag to the rescue here. Now you'll understand why you need a plastic bag when I put it in here. You can just slide it off the selector here. Oh, now I tore the plastic bag, so I have to be careful. There you go. And the reason for doing that is, there you got your sliding dog. It's pretty rough. Now this isn't a Vespa, and you know Vespa's got the old gear cross, and they wear out just by looking at them. But on Lambrettas, they almost last a lifetime, these things. But this one is definitely one. Could be because the gearbox has been shimmed wrong, or the end plate is loosened and they've not been engaging in the gears properly. But that's toast. Let's have an inspection of this. They've got 2 of these bearings. These bearings actually aren't round, so I think just in due course we'll have new bearings. And there's the spring. I really suspect that for being one of those super duper hard ones. If you have problems with Lambretta gears jumping out, normally it's cable adjustment. So I don't really believe in the old stronger selector spring thing. And otherwise, this Layshaft seems alright actually. So that's a good thing, and it looks, and the splines look really good too. So my suspicion is that it hasn't come off this engine. Right, okay, so if you like that, give me a subscribe. Please comment about the gear choice, we need to get that sorted. And when we've got all the parts, we'll start putting them back together again. Right, see you later, folks. Oh, gang. Tiny bit of free footage for you people that haven't been bothered to turn off the video yet. I was going to buy a new piston for my SS225 today. Finally started to get some money I can use again on fun stuff. And I came across this light that I want to try. Because I'm going to do lots of work on engine cases now and rebuild an engine when this has been cleaned up, I really fancied a proper light so you can see right in there. So let's give this a try. See if you can see anything. See, what do you think? What's that look like? Is that all right? Is it? I can change the light settings, and this is just sort of a note to myself. I can change Oh, nice, fancy, can change the colours. What do you reckon? Should we have a cold colour? How was this? Right, I'm just going to tell myself what these settings are. Right, this is 5600K, 47, 48. That was a warm colour. Might be nice. I'm not sure how this is going to translate, and this is 1330. And I'll try without the light just for fun. Oh, moody. Right, let's have another go. This is at 99%. This is 3300K. Or is it Kelvin? You never know, do you? That's 100%. And I'll adjust this a little bit. This is 39. It's a nice light. 4. And it gets colder, the light. 47. To me, my eyes at least, 47 looks pretty good. So that's 47. And so go, I have to press it again, of course. And this is 56. It's pretty bright. I hope you can see right inside the cases now. Can you see that this, I don't have to bring it right up to the camera, maybe it's enough to bring it down here now. This has been tuned up. This is the SX200 gearbox. We've decided, by the way, he's actually ordered a uni side case, and we've decided to go for my GP 200 gearbox, and we're going to go for 4718 sprockets, and that's quite revvy at around 5 as a final drive, so I think that should be okay. And it also gives us a bit of scope to change the gears if he mans up and changes his exhaust. So let me have a fiddle with the light again. Now that was 5.6, and we go back down 5.3, 4.9. This is 4000. I think it's Kelvins. I am no light expert, and this is really like moody, romantic in the night colours. I think I'm more of the cold. I mean, the object of the game, I'm back at 5006 again, and I can screw down the volume as well. Let's have a look what that does. So I can play around a bit with this and see if this is actually just 50%, no, 64, and this is 50%, that's a bit too, I think 100%, talking to myself, 100% is good, but I think I'll screw down the old Kelvins there a little bit, and I think 5000. How did that look, chaps? What do you reckon? So that means, hopefully that means that you can see everything that's going on here without any other distractions. Don't forget the coffee. And so what he's going to do, my mate, is off to England next week, and he's going to buy all the parts that we require, and he's coming back before Christmas, I think. So he should be already be able to get cracking on this around about Christmas time. Definitely early New Year's. Right, then I'll say goodbye again, and feedback at the end of the video, please. There, we'll have to have a look at the old lighting. I'll see you later, chaps, okay? Right safe.